Does anyone remember the movie, Over the Hedge? It was a 2006 film about a family of animals who have to get food to store for winter. But a hedge takes away half of the forest. So, with the help of a raccoon named RJ, they learn how to steal food from the humans. But what they don't know is that RJ is really using them to get the food to pay back an angry bear named Vincent. Eventually, RJ chooses his family over paying back the bear and decides to save them when the Verminator is about to take them to be killed. Or at least that's the ending we all know. But did you know that there was an alternate ending to this movie? It was so messed up that I can never think of Over the Hedge the same way again. It all started one day when I was in my house, playing guitar. Right when I was about to learn a new song, I heard a knock on the door. I went to see who was there, but there was no one there. But I wound up seeing a package on my doorstep. I picked it up and I saw a DVD, labeled Over the Hedge, Lost Ending. Cover Over the Hedge has an alternate ending? I thought to myself, amazed at my discovery. I put the DVD into my DVD player and I sat back to watch a piece of lost media. I thought I was so lucky that someone managed to mail me a piece of lost media, yet alone from my favorite movie. Oh, how that feeling would go away quickly. A warning popped up, reading, "This alternate ending of Over the Hedge was cut from the final product, due to it being too emotional for children and due to the scenes of animal cruelty. If you get scared or emotional easily, turn back now. You have been warned." Animal cruelty? I said, in shock. I doubt it has that. The scene opened with Vern's cage being slammed on all the other cages by the Verminator, after the family was trapped by him in Gladys' house. "You've just been verminated," said the Verminator, with a laugh, before sniffing a very angry Gladys. "Phew! You stink." "That's because you let them into my house," yelled Gladys. "Hey Nancy! Stop your honking," said the Verminator. "These little guys will be disposed of quickly and humanely." "No. Not humanely," yelled Gladys. "As inhumanely as possible." "It was a pleasure doing business with you, ma'am," said the Verminator, as Gladys walked back into her house. It then cut to Vern and the rest of the family watching RJ, bringing the wagon load of food up to Vincent. Instead of the usual score that played in the scene, a single piano started playing as, one by one, the cages containing the family were rolled into the van. "What's he gonna do to us, Mama?" asked Quillo. "I don't know, baby," said Penny, in a realistic sad tone. Then, it showed the two possums, Ozzy and Heather, in a cage. But Heather was crying realistic tears while she said her line. "I don't want to die, Dad," said Heather. "Not for real." There, sweetheart," said Ozzy. "We'll be okay." It then showed Hemi in his cage, looking visibly scared, before Stella held his hand to calm him down. I was crying at this point, because of the mood of this scene so far. "You were right about him, Vern," said Lou, also in a realistic sad tone. "We should have listened." "Sorry there." "No," said Vern. "I knew we couldn't trust him and I got us into this. I should have known better." It then showed Vern's POV, now that the family was in the van and driving to where they were to be euthanized. He saw RJ and Vincent watching the van drive past them, before they walked away. A few seconds later, it cut to show the van at the euthanasia place, and the Verminator bringing the family into various sections of the factory to kill them. The methods he used were enough to scar me for life. Hemi was gassed in a chamber. Heather and Ozzy were drowned in a pool of boiling water. Stella had her head cut off. Lou, Penny, Bucky, Spike, and Quillo were electrocuted and whacked with a club. As for Vern, he was crushed to death by a rolling pin and was boiled alive. Vern screamed realistically, as he was being boiled, as if his actor, Gary Shandling, was being hurt badly. Then, it slowly faded to black, before a message appeared on the screen: if only RJ hadn't betrayed his family, maybe they would still be alive. Then, it faded to black, ending the scene. I was in shock at that scene. Who would make that scene? Why was it made? What was the meaning behind it? I ended up smashing the DVD into bits after taking a couple screenshots. Then, I emailed DreamWorks and Michael Ferry, the creator of Over the Hedge, about it. Apparently, there was an animator by the name of Roddy Fatone, who used to work at DreamWorks, and he was responsible for this scene. During the test screenings, he included the ending into the showings and caused millions of kids to be traumatized by it. So, DreamWorks fired him and he wound up getting sued by all the parents at the test showings, and the ending was altered to be the one we know today. Roddy Fatone is the newest animator in the Troublesome Animator Club. So, if you find one of his creations or an alternate version of this scene, destroy it immediately. Most importantly, cherish your family. You never know what you have until they are gone. If you thought that the alternate ending of Over the Hedge one that Roddy Fatone made was bad enough, then allow me to explain this creepypasta of the lost sequel of this movie. So one day, I was walking around some Walmart and I eyed upon one beautiful sight. It was Over the Hedge 2, a sequel to my absolute favorite movie. I grabbed the only copy before anyone else could. The case was red, and there was a tear in both of Vern's eyes, which I didn't notice until I got home. I zipped to the cashier and put it on the conveyor belt as fast as I could. The store was about to close, and it came up as $0. I didn't read enough creepypastas to avoid that little trick, so I got it. When I got home, I scurried to the DVD player, and looked at the case. I noticed the red cut in both of Vern's eyes as he was smiling and giving 2 thumbs up. The fact that Heather was missing from the cover, and that RJ's eyes were angered. I was guessing that someone accidentally torn the cover, and that DreamWorks couldn't put Heather in for whatever reason, but I was still suspicious of RJ's eyes. When I popped in the disc, there were no commercials, but instead a black screen with the Giggles theme playing for 2 minutes, and then I went to the title screen, which nearly gave me a heart attack. It was the same title screen, but all the bags were torn open, the glass was cracked, all of the price tags were $6.66, the bee was laying down dead with a butcher knife in its belly. The Shrek 3 trailer bag had Slenderman on it. The music was remixed in G major, the Hammy's Boomerang Adventures bag had no Hammy on it, and no text either, and when the truck drove by, you could hear the truck's noise. Then a screeching, a girl screaming, and then a crash. I chose to start the movie. Then there was the old DreamWorks opening, even though I saw no DreamWorks logo on the case, but I paused the movie, looked at the case, and saw a normal back, but due to the blood stain making the words, "Help me," I was too weak to stop it. Please don't pop in the disc. I only saw the cast is back in Ono. I expected this to be a sick joke, and someone hacked the title screen. I was wrong. As I heard the clicking of the coins and the buttons, I saw the vending machine with Heather's head in the first slot. The price tag said, "You're dead, little girl," which I hoped referred to Heather, because I wasn't a girl, and I is nowhere near little, and it got stuck before falling, and RJ yelled, "No." That fresh meat. It was just as he banged the machine, he continued sitting, right there. And everything after that was normal. Until he saw Vincent's cave. RJ said, "Vincent, no, no, bad idea. Bad idea." As normal, but then I heard in a demonic voice, "I control over you, you cannot make your own choice." RJ, crying, went up near Vincent's cave. That part when he hit the "Do not feed the bear" sign, he looked up, and I just saw some red legs, and I heard RJ screaming, and some biting, and some evil laughter. Me, scared out of my skull, I reversed to see what killed RJ, and it was a red demon with a key. I expected it to be RJ's captor. Next was the bark scene, which was normal, but when Lou gave Bucky, Spike, and Quillo the bark, they rejected it as usual, but said nothing. When Vern brought the sticks to the log, he grabbed some bark, but it wasn't bark, it was instead a hand, still moving. Every time Vern took a bite, the hand stretched its fingers out. After a while, the scenes got more and more distorted. Eventually, Vern went over the hedge, and RJ was standing in front of Vern, which was strange because RJ got killed. RJ grabbed Vern by the neck, and tied him to a rocket, and blasted him off into the sky. It didn't show what happened afterwards though. RJ entered the hedge, and everyone was excited, and group hugged him. But he said goodbye, weaklings, and took out a chainsaw, and killed all the animals. Besides Bucky, Spock and Quillo, who were too short for his chainsaw. Eventually, the screen was blood red, and RJ appeared saying, "Whoever was foolish enough to watch this movie will go with the other fool that watched this." I got so scared that I threw the disc out the window, and buried it so it would never be seen again. I also broke the case, and put my Over the Hedge items in a box for 3 weeks, because I was too scared of Over the Hedge because of that movie. Today, I watched Over the Hedge, remembering that moment, which is why I'm posting this. Can Noelle take over? I need a break.
Sure thing, Paul. Stay tuned, viewers, as I, Noelle, will narrate the girls' only creepypasta for a final time. So ha 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 ha.